Welcome to 5 Minutes with KeRusso again. We're on this adventure, this quest to hear Jesus. What does he actually say about following him? I believe this is the most pressing issue for humanity today. Always has been, always will be. Now you may think I'm blowing smoke and I'm blowing things out of proportion, but I really am not. And you think about it. As you go along with us on this adventure and you start listening to Jesus, ask yourself this question: how would the world be different if everybody lived this way? How would your nation be different if everybody in that nation lived this way? Or your state, or your community, or your neighborhood, or your family? Whatever unit you want to talk about, how would it be different? How would it be transformed if everybody was listening to Jesus and living the way he taught? You see, Jesus came to give us the best life, and therefore following his teachings is the way to have that best life. Being one of his disciples is the way into the best life ever, for whatever unit you want to talk about. So what we're doing is huge. It's not just some theoretical exercise. This is huge. And that's why it's important not only for you to go on this adventure, but to invite people to take the adventure with you. Think about whatever unit that you want to impact. Ask those people to take the adventure with you and listen together to Jesus. Talk about it. How can you live out what his teachings are? So what we're doing is good. I would encourage you to subscribe to the channel, have everybody you want to subscribe to the channel. That's all free. And don't miss a single video. You've got some great people coming your way to share things with you. I'm just kind of setting things up. Now, in part of setting things up, I've asked you to do a couple of things. I've asked you to read all of Matthew in 1 week. You can do that by reading 4 chapters a day. Now, if you just are now jumping in and you didn't get a chance to do that, that's okay. Pick up today, over the next 7 days, read Matthew's Gospel. I've also asked you to define, or to mark and note some statements in Matthew's Gospel. One statement is something similar to like the disciples coming to Jesus. The disciples came to Jesus. Mark those. You'll see those 5 times in Matthew's Gospel. The other statement was when Jesus had finished saying these things, or something similar to that. You'll see that 5 times in Matthew's Gospel. In fact, they're markers for Matthew. They serve sort of as bookends. And what they help you to do is see what's in between the bookends. All right? Now, I'm going to give you the information where you can find those at. If you didn't get a chance to discover that on your own, I'm sorry. But at least go back and read them. And but don't worry, you've got more things that you get to do to help you do your own discovery. If you look in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 1, you're going to read, "Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he went up on a mountainside and sat down, and his disciples came to him." Okay, that's one of those markers. Then you get over to chapter 7 and verse 28. When Jesus had finished saying these things, that's the other marker. They're bookends. What's in between the bookends? That's what you want to look at. Okay? Then you have Matthew chapter 10 and verse 1. Jesus called his 12 disciples to him. And then you see Matthew chapter 11 and verse 1, when Jesus had finished instructing his disciples. Again, those are bookends. What is in between the bookends? That's what you want to focus on. In chapter 13, verse 6, or verse 10, the disciples came to him and asked. And then in chapter 13 and verse 53, when Jesus had finished these parables. Those are bookmarkers, bookends. What's in between the bookends? Take a look at that. Then you have over in chapter 18 and verse 1. At that time the disciples came to Jesus and asked. There's a marker. Then you read over in chapter 19 verse 1. When Jesus had finished saying these things. There's your bookends. Look at what's in between the bookends, okay? Then you have chapter 24 and verse 1. When Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him. And then chapter 26, verse 1, when Jesus had finished saying all these things. Bookends. what's in between them. That's what I want you to do. And spend some time now looking in between those bookends, and what do you discover? What's there? Why is it important? Why is Matthew highlighting these? It's huge. All right. Enjoy the discovery that's coming your way. I hope you have other people doing this with you. You can leave comments on this channel. You also can send me emails at booksbykerusso@gmail.com. I'll respond to you that way. It's great having you with us, and I'm hoping that you're going to enjoy. I hope you enjoy the journey now. I know you're going to enjoy it as you go along. Remember this: the more you give to the journey, the more you're going to get out of it. Okay? We'll see you next time, and be blessed.